That wasn't all that easy.
Neil Robertson, 8.
The red just caught the near jaw. Black wouldn't go into the opposite corner pocket, so he had to get the cue ball down the table.
He wants to play safe off the left-hand red of the bunch of 7. But he's hoping that nothing will go over pocket. I think he was looking at the red next to it, see where that would finish. Half a chance though for Carter.
One. Four. Five. Twelve. Thirteen.
No, it's really nicely played. He's not absolutely A1 on the next red, but could have split them much better.
20.
He missed one earlier on with the rest, and I always have him down as one of the best rest players around. And they all do occasionally get it wrong. This is another one.
Thanks.
Well,
21.
the blue does go, but he's not quite as he wants to be on it. At least it'll be away from that spot when it does get potted, because it goes up onto its own. So that frees a few more reds out. This is a missable shot. The reds are not in the way, but a bit of a distraction. As you see, it goes comfortably. No, still not quite in prime position.
26.
Although it is in his favour that the pink has gone over the middle pocket.
$27.
And the blue passes the pink.
32. $33.
Now the next red, not easy to get on. Still blocking that right pocket, those two reds next to each other. That one to the left will not pass them. That's not the worst kiss he's ever had. Slight raising of the hand to acknowledge the fact that he got a bit
39.
lucky there.
Intended to bring the cue ball past that red to take it to left corner. Still on that shot, but a little streakily.
Might play to cannon the two reds together this time and move them. And that was the only problem, is
40.
awkward cueing on the black, but not so on the pink.
Could comfortably get to the centre of the cue ball.
Good shot to hold the spot, which means the
46.
pink goes up onto the brown, so it kind of was where he had to put the cue ball, so it was a good idea.
$47.
Took him quite a few shots to get into good position in this break. So he's got a lead of 32. Two reds, two colours. Probably
54.
both blacks will be enough.
55. $62. $63.
Robertson watching the first frame disappear.
That was perfectly played.
70.
Wants to make sure he pots this next to red to guarantee winning the frame. And this is a very good start from Ali Carter.
71.
Showing no effects from what happened earlier, that longish match that he won.
And its aftermath, which he could have done without.
78.
Yeah, we think it's an advantage, I guess, to play first in the best of 7 frame last 16 matches, but we saw Stuart Bingham win his second match of the two and then go on and beat Judd Trump in the evening.
85.
So it's certainly not anywhere near impossible just
87.
to have less rest time between matches.
$90. $94.
Carter's long, hard battle this afternoon seems to have played him right in.
99.
Seems to have given him impetus for this match.
105.
And with that classy clearance of 112, Ali Carter leads Neil Robertson by a frame to nil.
Thank you. The second frame, Neil Robertson to break.
Ali Carter's clearance of 112 has given him a 1-0 lead, but best of 11. Long way to go.
Well, that's the kind of enough, you know, he's
Neil
possibly
Robertson,
there, but it's not. If you tried to play it, it wouldn't be that easy. I think a billiard player would be proud to go enough from that shot.
Well, exactly.
Looks like Neil thinks he can snick this red in. It must be very thin, though. Needs a good kiss, and he's not too bad.
1.
On the blue. To a fashion up and down the table from it for the next red.
Six. Seven.
Wow. Finished about as badly as it could for the blue, but pink is clearly a possibility. Brendan Moore making sure that the pink is lined up down the spots, the line provided by the blue, pink and black spots.
30.
As near as possible the nearest ball without touching it.
That's played very well. Now does he go into them? Probably has to. Don't see any other reds available. Didn't catch them full on. He needs to find something from this. I think they all seem to be covering each other.
19.
didn't really get into them as he would have hoped there. May just have... I don't know if he can get to a thin one into that pocket near the camera shot or not. It's a bit of the red sticking out, I'd say. Is it enough to pot the ball? Must be very awkward. It's the left-hand red I think he's lining up. Very good shot.
20.
And he couldn't really control the cue ball. It was so thin on the red.
Because the cue ball's tight on the side cushion, he's only got the natural potting angle to work with in terms of position. Looks as if he may cannon the two reds.
I think he's up for the fight. He's had a
25.
century break. He made a couple this afternoon. He knows he's in good form, but he worked out that Ali Carter's playing his best form of the season so far. So this is going to be a good match, I think. All the makings of it.
With the winner of this match to go into the semi-finals on Saturday against the winner of the group, which contains Ronnie O'Sullivan and Ding Junhui.
$26.
The middle red pots,
31.
there it is.
$32.
Over screwed it. Still all right. Can't control this. You might have just have to go into the pack of reds here. There's not much of a bunch. They're spread out, but just to hold the cue ball, you might have to drop into them in some form. I think he has to. Question of which one he goes into, and also he'd like to play it as slowly as he can. Just want a half ball cannon and the cue will end up on the bottom cushion. Just never quite looked like he was going to be on anything easy.
37.
Got a red in the middle. Only half the pocket though from that angle that he can get into. These are missable.
$38.
Couldn't get above the blue, but there won't be an enormous distance involved for his next red after he's potted this blue. Of course, the snag is that the pink and black are still tied up.
43. $44.
Very good. Recovered the situation in a big way. Two reds now available to the corner pocket from here, and all of a sudden,
Yep.
Without the pink and black being on, he's in a great position.
49.
Well, he hasn't used the black once, taken one pink, but that's not in play either from here.
$50.
It's been hard graft, this. It's taken him 9 minutes to get to 50.
Yeah, just played to hold. Didn't want to disturb any reds because he knows there's two sticking out, one on each side. If he pots both of those, then he's won the frame.
55. 56.
That's another very good shot. Makes the world of difference. Top side of the blue. Position becomes so easy. So there you see it. Frame ball coming up. Difference. 66
61.
remaining. Only 59 after this.
62.
Now, Carter knows his fate. Is he going to set a century break, though, in return of the one he made? That's the only question I think that remains here. Well, he may do now.
67. 68.
Wanted to be on the pink in such a way that he could just give the two reds a nudge. But as it happened, he ended up straight.
Yeah, now the century break will take some getting. Those two reds, he
74.
may have the shot to screw into them here, actually. I think that's what he's going to play. Yes, very good.
75.
Clever. Well, this really is a good break. If he makes a century from the starting point he had, it'll be one of the best I've seen for a while.
81. 82.
As you can see, not
88.
once has he used the black on the cushion or surrounded by reds. Fabulous
89.
break, this.
Almost always a total clearance involving all 15 reds
92.
is 130 plus.
$94.
But this one can only be 119.
97.
Robertson's 47th century of the season.
I doubt many have been better than this one, though, Clive.
106. 112.
'Total clearance of 119 unassisted by the black until the last shot. Fabulous stuff from Neil Robertson. He levels the match at 1-1.
Welcome back to the Group 4 match between Carter and Robertson. The winner will be through to the semi-finals, but at the moment there's little to choose between these two. Level after the opening 2 frames, the third looked fairly tight in the early exchanges before an opening fell to Ali Carter, who took that frame to go 1 clear. He pushed home his advantage in the 4th with some solid potting to extend his lead to 2. As we pick up the action at the start of the 5th, Carter back at the top.
One.
No, I think he's got a shot towards the pink. Didn't play it all that well, I didn't think. Last shot, a bit feeble in pace. But he still can get to the pink. And this is missable. Be the first to know from that view, it's perfect. It's not there. It was awkward.
Ali Carter 1.
He sensed it, that he didn't really like the shot, but he had to play it.
Yeah. 1.
This is what Neil Robertson wanted. Had a 15-minute break to recharge his batteries, have a rethink. He hadn't done much wrong, but what he did hope for was an early chance in this frame, and he's got one.
Six. 7.
If Robertson can win this frame, he's only 3-2 behind. If he loses it, he goes 3 adrift, 4-1.
$14. 15. 22. 23. 30. 31.
It's very tight as to whether he's got an angle, but the 2 reds are available to the right corner anyway. Might just have a very slight angle on this. much to play with there. Come over far enough, but he's a left-hander, he can reach it.
36.
Interesting what he was saying after his match this afternoon, which he finished with back-to-back centuries in, that after the World Championships he scrutinised Ronnie O'Sullivan's game and discovered that he's such an easy break builder and scorer.
37.
He said that's what I have to work on, is scoring. Well, certainly that's worked. He's amassed so many centuries this season. 3 already today, so he's always learning, prepared to learn.
43.
Now, does he have an angle? It seems that the black he's on is, well, it's just off straight actually. There's a very slight angle. He's marginally below it. There it is. But the next red is not easy to get on. Now then, does the top red go, or is he looking at a 2-ball plant?
51.
The 2-ball plant is bang on. And that will interest him, I think, more than the red above it. Reds are about 3 inches apart that he's playing here.
52.
Yeah, that's okay. That's very good. Now, it was the chance that he had at the start of this second half of the match. And immediately he's about to put the frame to bed.
57.
Red colour needed.
58.
Standard's been very high so far tonight. %, each. Yeah. You get into the 90s, you know you're seeing pretty
66.
high-class snooker. If this cannon goes right on the 2 reds, he could make another 100 break. That's not too bad at all.
73. 74.
Closing in on his 48th century of the season.
Yeah, it's been a golden run of about 2 months of break building in general. Put it in simple terms, when he comes to the table with a chance, there's no balls
79.
left when he's finished.
$80.
He's got to play a good little shot here to screw round with right hand side on 2 cushions. Got to get the pace right. Got to go beyond the brown. That's okay, I think. Yep.
85. 87. 90. 94.
Carter missed a tricky red to middle to let Robertson in.
99.
And Robertson has taken these immaculately. The Australians second century of the match, his fourth of the day.
Neil Robertson.
So with that run of 105, he reduces his arrears to 3-2.
Welcome back to the Group 4 match between Ali Carter and Neil Robertson. No score in the 6th frame, Robertson at the table.
No, and as you said, it was there was some risk attached. That one he can't get to, not without a swerve. The other one, it's a Neil Robertson special on a day when all the long pots for him are going in, which is quite a few days. And he rolled it in as well, and that's even more difficult from that kind of range, playing with pace. It's a very confident shot, I think.
Eight. 9. Sixteen. 17. 24.
He's off again. The Reds are
25.
very nicely positioned here.
Yep. 32.
'Just a little glance
33.
on the red that was above the one that he played. He looked at the table. Very few awkward balls. Only one actually. One red. It's up just to the left of the middle pocket there, in front of it. That's talking about when the frame is long since
40.
one. It's a question of how many he can make from here.
41.
Taken all reds and blacks so far. I think there could easily be more to come.
Robertson has made 2 147s in competition.
48. 49.
'Now does he have an angle on this red to come back for the black? Looks a little on the straight side actually.
56.
Yeah, no, he does have a bit of angle to play with actually on the red to the right middle. There's your proof of that.
$57.
That's a good shot as well. He's high on this red. And he's saving, well, he had been saving the one on the
64.
right for later on. It might be now that he takes it, but it would be nice to have it there for a bit longer because he can play on other reds. Save it for the point when he's got no other options, but he still needs to win the frame first. He's not at that point yet. He needs red colour red. when he gets to that point, well, he can just keep on trying to get
65.
a very big break.
There's no advertised bonus for a maximum. I think 147s have gone out of favour with organisers because of the difficulty of insuring against them.
$72.
So, still 147 is available, but he wants this red to make sure that the match is 3-all. And he's now just calculating that any red he plays on, he must finish top side of. Playing into a corner pocket at least. Yeah, that's okay. He's going to have to cut the black back, I think, if he plays this one. Simple as 10 reds and 10 blacks this break. Thinking
81.
maybe if this break does get down to that red on the left, being the last one, he may have to play the double. I think that if he was parallel with it, with the cue ball, then the double wouldn't be that difficult for someone as good as Neil. We're not there yet, though. Yeah, that's a good little shot because he means he's played into an area where 2 of the reds were
88.
available, and he can reach this one left-handed.
$89.
Now once again, purposely up the table from this if he can. Although maybe that red goes into the left middle, won by the pink. That's the other option. It's a very good opportunity.
Now, if Robertson could complete the maximum, it would be the 100th in professional competition
96.
and the 50th on television. ITV
97.
showed the first by Steve Davis in 1982 in the Larder Classic in Oldham.
Now, this is an awkward part of the break here because where does he really want to finish? Right up there. And again, it has to be high. Now, again, 2 options here. If he doesn't get on the red on the right, maybe the cross double, or the double rather. Now the century, Clive, like they're going out of fashion.
$105.
Third of the match, his fifth of the day.
I just think he has to play the double. I just don't see any other way of... If he tried to, or he had the opportunity to shift the red out, he wouldn't even be sure of being able to pot it or be able to get on the black. But at least if he plays the double, the cue ball comes down towards the black. It's a certainty to be on the black, but the double isn't guaranteed. He's not quite far enough. I
112.
think if he hits this hard, he could get the double because it would straighten the angle on the red. I think he's got to really give this some stick.
And hit it just about as full as he can without the red coming back and kissing the cue ball.
Well, that was the problem. He had to
113.
absolutely belt that just to straighten the red, and he couldn't control it. Now, if he makes one from here, then I think Clive and I should donate some money to the fund, because it'll be some break. Although I don't see you agreeing with me yet, Clive, because this would be an amazing shot from black to yellow. Could put in a couple of quid each, couldn't we? This would be an amazing shot. Black to the middle, it's got to be. Can't see any other way you can play this. But then he's got a yellow at long range. Oh no, not another double. Well, he's thinking about doubling this in the right middle and getting up onto the yellow. This would be a brilliant shot. Coming up with all kinds of measurements here. Now he's now looking at the thin cut. Good grief. This is extremely thin, this pot. He's playing left corner. Unlucky, unlucky.
A great attempt at a maximum,
113.
and still a great break, even though it's fallen just short. Back-to-back centuries, 105 and 113, bring Neil Robertson level at 3-all.
And what about that for a shot from Ali Carter? Like you say, the score in this match is 3-all, never mind all the fireworks that have gone before. Great opening red, nicely on the blue. Distance there, more apparent from that view than the low camera angle we showed you. It was a lovely shot.
Six. Seven.
Cue ball didn't go very far there.
40.
Maybe a red to the left middle he can reach. Chance to play down for a lower value colour. Yeah, if you can get to it all right.
$50.
This is a belter of a match. And he wants to bring the red to the right corner that he's closest to. Of the two that are available there, that one, right in front of the cue ball, and he can get to it, and there's a little gap he's going to screw in between. Play the black in the same pocket.
21.
This time he's not straight enough on the red to hold easily for the black.
28. $29. Yeah. Okay.
Nice, very good.
34.
That red has just maybe got into the black's way into the right-hand corner, but he's still in prime position.
$35. $40. $41.
Well, he's played on the red, I think, just below the black, and he may have
44.
gone a fraction too far. He's, again, a little bit too well. Now he can play the recovery red cut back into the same pocket as the other one he was playing on. He was a little unfortunate there on that last shot. He played it pretty nicely.
$45.
We've had 4 centuries in 6 frames. Surely we can't have 5 in 7.
I don't think the angle on the green is quite the same as it was the previous time. What if he's got the same shot on? There are reds higher up the table that go into the right corner, though. He's hitting the ball very well here. Work is getting on it for minimum effort.
48.
Now, how is that cluster going to open as he takes the back red?
And certainly he's hopeful that the pink will come into play as well. Perfect.
$55. 56.
What a comeback this is. Sat out 2 frames with no real chances in them. And the opening ready potted was a very difficult one.
62.
And this is frame being won in a single visit, time after time.
63.
Carter's already done enough to be sure of getting back into the lead at 4-3.
70. 71.
He may just decide to move a red, the middle one of the 3. Bounce it out into the middle of the table. He played it and didn't quite get the shot. Might be
78.
cutting a back double into the left middle here. Oh, everything's going in. How about that?
79.
Well, everything's going in. What a standard this is.
And he screwed onto the other red to develop that. Well, these two are tournament pot stats of 91%, and I think in this match they're even higher than that. They're 93% each. Well, I think he might be all right.
85.
I think he can get to this. Yep. He's, just a touch of right-hand side. Oh dear.
86.
It's going to be a good shot now to keep the break going. If this pink goes in, he's going to be guaranteed on the red. Wow. Stunning.
92. 93.
Five centuries in 7 frames, would you believe it?
100.
3 from Robertson, 2 from Carter. Can't miss either of them.
102.
Yeah, what a break. I mean, he's just hitting the ball like a dream.
105.
And as we've said before, this is after being a spectator for 2 centuries from his
109.
opponent. So it's not like, you know, this is just a one player in great form. They're both at it here. Not seen a match as good as this for a very long time, Clive.
Thanks.
This is wonderful.
120.
Simply wonderful. And with a total clearance of 127, Ali Carter regains the lead at 4-3. Marvellous stuff.
Welcome back to the Champion of Champions match between Neil Robertson and Ali Carter. They finished the opening session level, and going into the 9th were all square once more. Robertson enjoyed an early break of 30, but Carter hit back. He failed to secure the frame with a score of 59. And Robertson returned to take a 5-4 lead. As we pick up the action in the 10th, Robertson with the momentum on his side and back at the table.
24.
Well, again, the option to go into the pack is there. He had this similar shot earlier in the match, but refused the chance to break the reds, but this time he's going for it. The thing is, the harder you hit that, the wider the cue ball swings away from the reds and arcs back in. And if he'd played it slower, he mightn't have broke them up so well, but he'd have hit them more centrally.
Neil Robertson, 31.
Pretty good length on his safety. I like that camera shot. It shows how long the table is. And illustrates what a great pot that was. Length of the table.
Eight. Nine.
Good for Carter that having lost the last two frames and trailed 31-0 in this one, he's responded with such a good long red to get him in. With the prospect of a sizable break.
And the problem here is just the cue ball's gone rammed up
15.
against the cushion there. And it means you can't hit anything but the top of the ball. And I'm thinking the red in the middle, if he takes it on, the cutback, I think he's going a little bit too close to the blue. Might be able to just go inside it, but it's a little bit close. Must avoid that. That's why he's played the other one. More difficult shot. Well played. Really good cueing.
Twenty-two. Thanks. 23. Thirty. $31.
Into the lead with that green.
34.
But because it was the green, he can't get more than 35 ahead before he has to tackle the most awkward red. the one on the side
35.
cushion.
$41. $42.
Regrettably, my arithmetic has sprung a leak.
A very long and very enthralling day, Clive. Plenty of snooker played. We might be seeing, I guess, the maximum amount of frames in one day. We had 2 4-3s, and this could comfortably go 6-5 either way.
49. $50.
So, indeed, as Clive mentioned just there, he can now win the frame. That red will be superfluous on the right of the table.
57. $58.
This break started with an excellent long red.
Now,
65.
he's actually got the shot to move the red here, and he doesn't really want to play it. Doesn't need to play it. He needs to be sure of the frame with a colour after this. Well, he has played it, and it's all worked out very well.
66.
And that wasn't really that important, the cannon. It would have been different if he'd have been in position to require it to win the frame. Anyway. That's a good shot. He's avoided the bump of the middle pocket. He's on the red. Very good cue power.
71.
And, 40 ahead. This next red will absolutely guarantee the frame. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a decider here, and it's what the match really requires. Whether he makes a century is another thing, and Neil doesn't really care either way, but we're in for a terrific decider. Fitting conclusion to a match like this.
Robertson led 5-4 and 31 to 0, but Carter responded with 72 to level at 5-all and take the match the full distance.
Welcome back to the Group 4 match between Carter and Robertson. The winner will be through to the semi-finals, but at the moment there's little to choose between these two. Level after the opening 10 frames. This is now the 11th, Robertson at the table.
One.
If he cannons the bunch, he's still pretty sure to be on red to left middle.
Yeah, I like the pace, Clive, as well, that he played it to ensure just that. I tell you, there's a lot of tension in here tonight. You can really feel it. Played in great spirit, this match between these two, but it's real competitive tension. Everyone watching it is enthralled. You really feel this.
Well, whoever loses is going to be very disappointed because they put in such an investment of effort and such a fine performance. All Carter can do is just hope that Robertson doesn't make too many from this chance. The spectators absolutely engrossed.
7.
Well, maybe slightly straighter on the pink would have been more straightforward.
Yeah, I think so. It's red to the left corner, he's eyeing up, but he can't get right behind it from there. Now he's looking at the blue, so he definitely underhit the last shot. Well, not sure that angle was on to go up and down and back through
12.
the green and brown. I thought he would come just the other side of the green on the way back. Surely it was just taking him to where it finished. He couldn't get much further down. Strange shot.
Would have been slightly more difficult with the right of centre striking that he needed, but if he was going to play the blue, that was how I expected him to play it.
Yes, bit of right hand side being running side and taking it further down the right of the table. The tension is definitely getting to all the players here, or both the players. I mean, this is the man in shot. I think he's one of the most steely players under pressure with good nerve that we've got in the game, but even he is slowing his game down almost to a walk now. Doesn't know what to play here.
Thanks. Neil Robertson, 12.
Carter is relieved and surprised to be coming to the table still a handful of points ahead.
Again, it was a very good safety shot once the break did end. And Ali's last few shots have been in all kinds of trouble. Very good safety from Ali Carter. Tap on the table from Neil Robertson. That's got rid of the pressure for a moment, hasn't it?
Well, I think the balance of powers changed now in this exchange. Robertson kept getting Carter in trouble, but then when he did engineer an opening, he didn't make enough. What a shot from virtually tight on the baulk rail.
Magnificent, magnificent, the best I've seen. Taking into account how difficult it was, the accuracy, and more than anything, the pressure he's under. Wonderful shot. Ali Carter in his chair, he's got a little bit lower sitting there. He almost slumped in there after that shot. He couldn't believe that went in. Took him by surprise. Not easy to get on the red. Certainly the four in the middle of the table are quite tied up. This is quite a good angle to be coming at. The red in the middle pocket available. Good shot.
5. Six.
Well, he can't get on anything to the left corner of those 4 reds because the black's clearly in the way. And if he had more angle on this, he could stun down onto the red behind the black, but that looks a little awkward. He'd have to force it to do that. Played it with left-hand side, reverse side. The bottom red just slides past the other 3.
11.
Makes a huge difference. He'd like to play on the black if he could. Get it onto its spot. But pink is there if he needs it.
$12. $18. $19.
Oh dear, oh dear. How awkward is that?
Yeah, I mean, not sure that he could, even if he does pop this black, whether he can get on a red from it.
I saw the theory. I think he thought that if he ran the cue ball round off the 2 cushions, he'd split that little cluster, he'd be on the black, and in all likelihood, he'd clinch the match from there.
I know, but the chance of being buried over the red was always going to be there. The pace he played it, wasn't it? Anyway, does he bother to pot the black and play safe, or has he got anything else up his sleeve? Much springs to mind. I think you have to get the extended spider out or something if he plays on the black here, or the swan neck, something he can really get elevation. He's gone for the swan. No, the ordinary spider. Wow, can he reach it with that? Good heavens, look, he's put it in between the pink and the red. He's ever so close to it there.
This could easily be a foul before it even hits the ball. Well, it wasn't a foul.
Neil Robertson, 90.
And he was aware that he wasn't going to leave anything if he missed the black.
The conclusion of this vital frame coming up after the break. Welcome back to the Group 4 match between Ali Carter and Neil Robertson. This is the deciding frame. At level after 10, this is a must-win for both men. Robertson ahead, but it's Carter at the table.
We've seen great snooker tonight, all these centuries, but this is even more exciting, isn't it? Couldn't pick a winner. Right down to the last few shots it'll be.
Just trying to freeze the cue ball to the back red.
That'll be very good. Similar shot, I think, from Neil, gently into the 3 reds from the bottom cushion, but if he gets it wrong in angle or the pace, he could easily leave something. Well, he's managed to find a way of swerving that.
Well, it's all very well to say there's a red on to left middle, but how tough does it look at this stage of the game?
Very tough, low percentage. Probably cost him the match if he misses it. Wins him it if he gets it, but you've got to weigh up the percentages.
It's not how often out of 10, but it's whether one try under maximum pressure he could knock that in.
He would do well to play it as a shot to nothing and find a way on the black, but even that would be difficult. Bringing the cue ball back to the bottom cushion here. There's the other red he's looking at as well. That might also go. Ooh. Interesting shot.
Well, he thought the double was the safest option. Black was possible from anywhere. Screwing back to the side cushion, he was never going to leave anything easy for his opponent.
I think the left-hand red of the two close to each other might chip into the left middle, but again, it's risky. Missed it by a long way.
And he's a sitting duck down for a snooker behind the pink. Well, even if he escapes to the red on the baulk cushion, the red is going to be cuttable to left middle. This could be Robertson's last shot.
Well, he hit it too hard. I mean, the shot was quite good, actually. The idea to hit one side of the red, to put too much on that.
1.
Now the problem, Red, is something he's shaping up to take on next. Well, he wouldn't have got much of a better chance than that to land on it. The angle is good. It means he hasn't got to play it firmly, and cue ball should bounce out up the table towards the bulk line and maybe beyond. That's a good shot. Well, he is favourite now, but this is going to take a lot of nerve because it's been such a good match. So much at stake. And nothing's ever easy.
Well, the win is in his grasp. He doesn't want to let it slip from his grasp. But he couldn't have a better chance.
7. Eight.
This has been a half-hour frame already. It's ebbed this way and that. Robertson has certainly had his chances in it.
11. But
as long as Carter clears up to the pink, he'll be in the semi-finals. Oh!
Ali Carter.
He didn't like the shot.
30.
He shook his head just before he played it. He was in two minds as to whether to play on the brown in either of the top pockets, and he tried to play the brown into the same pocket as the green. It was in between shots, I think.
But at a less pressurised stage of the match, I'm sure he wouldn't have missed that.
No, absolutely. Your mind plays tricks. He wasn't sure which way to play it.
Still not out of it because the green, fortunately for Carter, ran safe.
Very much of a containing shot there from Neil. I mean, he could be in trouble after this. Of course, Ali knows he can't stick the black over the green over the black pocket with it there. So he could get a snooker. He's got no pressure on this shot at all. Not played it, but even then, the way he has played it's pretty good.
Thanks.
Thought he would double it up and down, I must be honest. Just got to get his head right now, hasn't he, after missing that chance.
Robertson playing the green down to the corner of the table where the black is the goalkeeper.
Yeah, and he's covered it as well. The blue's in the way. Well, it's not difficult to hit, but he could easily push this over a pocket if he's not careful, this green. Just got to forget what's gone before, and that's very difficult to do. This is not good contact. Not good contact at all. He needed full ball there. Oh, wow, what a turnaround. Robertson with a chance. Not the best of angles. Going away from the brown. As you got the shot to screw off the blue and back towards the brown, it'll be a terrific shot.
Three.
This is the one. Robertson's chance.
Seven.
Kept his nerve, kept his cueing, but slightly the wrong side of the blue, so it's not a formality to get well on the pink.
No, it just had to be the wrong side of the blue. It could never be that easy just to get in behind it. So there is one more mid-range shot needed for the match. And what a match
12.
this has been. At everything, it's been terrific.
This for the match. Well, however well Carter played, and he did play